All right, so the elimination stage is about to get underway tomorrow morning, so I thought I would go ahead and show you guys my picks for this stage, but first, let's look at how we did in the opening stage. As you can see, I did manage to get 5 picks correct. I honestly can't believe it. I feel like most people did not. Most of the analysts and personalities in the scene did not get their 5 picks. I guess I got a little bit lucky with my 3-0s, because if either of these teams did not go 3-0, I was not getting my 5 picks. That was gonna be a tough one. So yeah, I'm excited about that. So definitely glad to be still in contention for that diamond coin. So I'm going to do this a little bit faster than the last one. I don't want to sit here and bore you with every single decision that I'm making, but to start off with the 3-0s, there are 2 teams that I think are the strongest right now, and that's going to have to be Team Spirit and FaZe. FaZe is by far the most consistent team going into, the entirety of CS2. FaZe have made it to the grand finals so consistently of every single tournament they've played in. I think they are one of the best teams right now. They do have a little bit of trouble in the Swiss format from time to time. So, anything can happen in those best of ones. I was tempted to put Vitality here, but looking at recent results, I think they're going to the playoffs. I just don't think they're going 3-0 quite like FaZe. So now let's talk a little bit about Team Spirit. If you were to make a power ranking going into this major, you would probably put Spirit at number 1 due to their results at IEM Katowice with Donk just embarrassing every single player in the pro scene. But they are a little bit risky because we just haven't seen all that much of them at this level. I could very well see them drop down and lose a couple of matches, but with there being best of ones involved, I think one of the main weaknesses that a lot of teams are planning to exploit on Spirit is the fact that their Vertigo does not look very strong. In best of ones, they're definitely not going to be playing Vertigo, so I think Spirit's a pretty safe 3-0 pick. You could throw in a Vitality over them, and I wouldn't be too concerned with that, but hey, this is what I'm going with, and we'll see how it goes. Moving on from there, the only team that's really beaten Spirit lately is MOUZ. I could see them going 3-0, but they don't match up too well against FaZe and other teams if they end up playing them. I'm just going to have to go with MOUZ going 3-1. I think they're going to drop at least one matchup, but I wouldn't be too surprised if they made it through 3-0. That's why they're going to be one of my first teams that I picked to advance. Past that, I think G2 are also going to advance. They've been looking pretty good lately. They've had some rocky results. Not going to pick them 3-0, but I do like the way they're looking right now. Now moving on from G2, that leaves us to a trickier decision here. I think Na'Vi they're good enough to make the playoffs right now. I think AlexiB is doing a good job with Na'Vi. Losing Simple is not an easy thing to do, and I think they've somehow managed to still be a pretty capable tier 1 team, and I think they're going to be able to make the playoffs here. I think they're in decent form. I don't see any reason that they shouldn't be able to make the playoffs. Anything could happen, but I'm definitely going to say they're going to make it. Virtus Pro. I never know about Virtus Pro either. They're kind of hit or miss for me. I'm gonna say this time around, I think they're gonna be well prepared. I think they're gonna come in here and make the playoffs. So that leaves us down to 1 remaining slot. As an NA fan, I want to say Complexity, but I'm definitely not gonna do it. I've been an NA fan long enough to know what this means. If I pick them, they will not make it. If I don't, they will. So I'm not gonna pick them. I'm hoping for NA. Not picking them. Not going to do it. I know what that means. Coming out of the opening stage, I think Cloud9 and Heroic were by far the strongest looking teams. Honorable mention, Eternal Fire. I'm going to have to go with Cloud9. I think they are good enough. I think they're probably going to lose to Spirit round 1 and then probably have an easier matchup in round 2. So I'm going to go with Cloud9 here as our opening stage team that advances. And finally, now the hardest part is picking the 0-3s. I think all of these teams have shown quite a bit of spark here lately. As far as the weakest teams here, that's a tough one. I will not put Complexity at 0-3, even though I would not blame you if you did. I think out of these teams, they seem a little bit weaker than Furia, and Furia to me are one of the weakest teams here. They have that opening matchup against G2, which I think is pretty tough. I don't know. I'm definitely not going to put Pain there. I think they look too good. They're matching up against Complexity early on. I could see them winning that in the best of 1. So honestly, I think what I'm going to do, I'm torn between either Furia or Ecstatic. Ecstatic keep beating teams that they're not supposed to beat, but I don't know if the pressure's going to get to them. Right now, they're playing to get on stage as the only fully Danish team in a Danish major. I just don't know. Honestly, I think they are most likely to go 0-3, along with probably the Mongols. I think these are my 2 0-3 picks. You may think I'm crazy for that, but it's just kind of what I'm feeling. I'm hoping I get at least one of those 2 right. It's just tough. It's tough to say. It's really hard to say at this point. I could see Furia going 0-3, but I want to say that they may be able to pull it out. So I'm going to go with these picks. So, if you agree, let me know in the comments. If you disagree, let me know in the comments and I'll fight. Also, while editing this, I do realize that yes, I have a green part of my shirt, and yes, I now have a hole in my chest because of the green screen.